If we look at human trafficking as the exploitation of vulnerabilities, then the role of the church becomes pretty obvious, right? It means going and addressing those vulnerabilities. So, for example, in order to do prevention, it's not enough to just go and talk about human trafficking. It's not enough to tell people not to get trafficked or not to fall prey to traffickers. If they don't have any other opportunities, then chances are they're still going to take some risks. So if a church does, for example, community development, they're actually preventing human trafficking. They are making people less vulnerable to the promises of the traffickers. Also, it's very important to understand that as the church, we have a weapon that is so powerful, and that's prayer. And a lot of times you hear people praying for rescuing for the victims, but I would just like to encourage you to also pray for the people who are working in this. It's a very difficult place to be in, and you see a lot of discouraging things. But with prayer and with good self-care, there's a lot of things that can be done. And also, I'm going to maybe say something controversial here, but pray for traffickers. We serve a God who can turn the hearts around of people, and we've seen that. We've seen it in the Bible. So wouldn't it be great if there would not be people who would be willing to do that anymore? So keeping those things in mind and continuing to pray and continuing to do what we're actually already doing, most of us, working with the poor, working with the marginalized, loving people, loving our neighbors, and basically doing this towards the ones that Jesus calls the least of these. That is how human trafficking is going to be prevented and, Lord willing, in this generation also combated.